Hi Gemini, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your journal messages for the first week of August. Okay, I'm not really going to be focusing on relationships per se. Oh, I just saw the Three of Swords and the Devil. I don't know who needed to see that, but it just stood out to me. Yeah, because I did a deep relationship read a couple of days ago, so you guys could check that out. It was just a few days ago for the month of August. So let's see what we get. Other messages having to do with maybe work, money, family situation, or could resonate for a relationship as well. All right, so let's get into things. Ten of Swords, okay. So you have this Mars and Venus energy in Virgo in your fourth house of home, roots, family, your self-care, your emotions, something to do with mother as well. This is a very sort of, it's a very interesting energy because Mars and Venus together really do try to balance each other out. The thing is to understand the shadow manifestation of Venus is really important when we have it in Virgo, because Virgo is very critical. It's very problem solving, right? Which is fine. But if we're in something, and particularly Gemini, for you guys in that fourth house, having to do with your ability to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure, a lot of you could be resonating with this also having to do with your career. You might be in this space where you're a little confused about it. You're thinking about your career, your long-term goals, and you're asking yourself if what you're in right now, that relationship, that job, whatever situation you're in your life right now, well, you might be asking yourself, is this the right thing for me? And part of like the tangential energy that kind of like that shoots off of that could be, you know, the negative aspects of the Venusian quality. I'm not saying this to be negative. I'm saying it to give you a heads up, because you're not the only ones that have Mars and Venus in Virgo. Gemini is the only one who has it in the fourth house, right? This is the Gemini archetype, but we all have it somewhere. So it's important to understand whoever, because there's a lot of busy communication for you going on right now. So you just want to be mindful of how strong Venus is right now this month and the Virgo energy. And not only because the sun's going to be going into Virgo, I'm not even talking about that. It's just the Virgo energy, that everybody's being very sort of critical this month, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that, because it's all about being critical to end up solving a problem. But in this energy, it's very hard for us to not see certain things. You know what I mean? So we have the Ten of Swords clarified by the Star, the Hangman, and the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords, oh my gosh, and the Devil did end up coming out. All right, so let's see what ends up happening here. So Ten of Swords really is about, you know, one sword at a time over time, ending, right? This is like, it's too much. There's a history here, and it's the finality and the release of something that ends up, this is the kind of energy where you might be sad that something is ending, but there's also an element of relief, because now at least you recognize that the end of a really challenging time for you is over. And you making the decision to say, that's enough. Like, now it's time for me to just transform into just a better and healthy version of myself, not allowing that any sort of like unnecessary drama to be a thing anymore in your life. And it's you making this decision and you just wanting to heal, right? So we have the Star here, which is, in numerology, it's the strength. Strength card is about, you know, feeling tested, but then finding balance. You know, there's got to be this balance, which is a change for the better after a difficult time. So there's a lot of destiny-driven stuff that's going on here, for sure. Now, some of you, Ten of Swords and then the Star, it's like, all right, it's time to just get over that person, Gemini, and it's time to meet somebody who you can connect with on a deep soul level, in a way, with somebody who really truly gets you. For some of you, you're going to be resonating with it like that. This is very much a healing energy. So really good for career and money, because this is a money luck card, I would say, right? So whatever you're doing, it starts to pay off. And it's because you were working on something in the past, and whatever you did in the past, you were prioritizing your goals, you were thinking about the future, you were prioritizing well. So a lot of you might be in this space where you're shifting into something new, maybe a new business, or you expanding on some sort of hidden talent that you had, anything like that. Because the Star energy showing up for career or money, it's like your star rising kind of thing, if that makes sense. But it's like a lot of inspiration here, a lot of inspiration. A lot of inspiration. I don't know why I'm being called to say. And some of you might be like, that's it. I want to redo my house. I just don't know where I'm going to get the money. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's like, that's it. I just feel like some of you are going to be in that space. But clarifying the star, we have the Hangman, which is Neptune, and there's some confusion here. There's some confusion. Now, some of you might be confused about how somebody actually feels about you or the situation that you guys are involved in. So that could be an intimate connection, that could be a friendship, that could be a business connection, whatever it is. It's like you are hanging out waiting. How do they feel? How do I feel about being in this? Am I going to end up getting, the short end of the stick in this negotiation, in this relationship, in this whatever it is, where you're wondering and concerned about if you say yes to something that you're going to end up somehow martyring what it is that you ultimately want for yourself in order to make something work. And you being in this space, you're trying to figure that out. But there's confusion here, right? I mean, this Neptune energy is always like trying to, look at life through a thick fog or a dirty window. And, you have Neptune and Pisces in your 10th house right now having to do with your long-term goals. It's not only your career and public reputation, but also those long-term goals. And you're going to be very focused on, again, because it's sitting opposite that Mars and Venus energy. You're not going to be able to not see if something doesn't feel right in relationship. You're not going to be able to not see what doesn't feel right in your career at all. And we have, closing up this row, we have the Three of Swords. So for some of you, Saturn and Libra, some of you are going to experience this as heartbreak because of the pain of the truth. Some of you may be feeling very betrayed about something that's going on. This could even have to do with something going on with a mother or a family situation as well, because it's also 4th house stuff. There could be some just general depression about what's going on, right? But whatever it is, if there was something that you were in the dark about, right? Because the Hangman is confusion. You're not going to be confused anymore. Like this week is going to bring a lot of things out to light. So if there's something where you're like, I don't know how I feel, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what they're thinking, I don't know. It does seem like something's going to come to light. Now, it's again, very important to understand the shadow manifestation of Venus. I'm being really called to say this right now. Number one, she doesn't like competition. She just doesn't like this one-upmanship kind of thing, right? And especially for you in this 4th house, it could be like if you feel like your home or something having to do with family is kind of like a battleground right now. Not a good energy, right? Venus doesn't like that. Venus, if she's vibing competition and she feels rivalrous or any kind of envy, that's when she brings, and this could have to do with anything from, again, that family situation to love within the family, could have to do with money connected to the family, anything like that. It's Venus, so it could even just have to be with like the physical beauty of something or a situation, right? Or a person, whatever it is. But what happens here, though, is that she whips it out. Like she will seduce, she will be deceitful. There will be any other strategy will be employed to secure something that her eyes are aimed on. Now, why am I saying this to you? Because again, you're not the only one having this energy. Everybody is. So even if you're like on the up and up, you want to be careful, because I feel like you might be dealing with this energy. There might be that energy. Now, that's going to resonate with some of you, where somebody's just going to be like very deceitful in order to get their own way. So just have a heads up for that. Also, Venus has a hard time dealing with anyone or anything that doesn't measure up to her ideal. Her expectations for not only perfection but for harmony are really, really high. And since she's hanging in your 4th house, anything having to do with home, the idea of home, whatever it is, everything that we've been talking about, if it's not measuring up, this energy of disappointment, this energy of disillusionment can set in, particularly in the 4th house, because that's where Cancer lives, and it's ruled by the moon, which it's very easy to feel disappointment and disillusion because you don't have all of the information. can be kind of foggy here, right? So this can push you into feeling like I have to do something different. So I have to fix this. I can't have this because I want something that's balanced and fair right now in my life, and this is not working for me. And finally, I'm only really dealing with the 3 shadow manifestations, the main shadow manifestations of Venus. She can serve to temper a situation that she seems that for some reason is imbalanced, meaning, let's say you're in a relationship, you're in some sort of business situation, you're in any sort of situation within your family where everything has really swung to the wrong side. It's not meant for you. It's toxic. The relationship, the family situation, that job opportunity, it's strung you to a point that's just not good for you. And that's when Venus, hanging out with Mars, comes in and says, look, we need to balance this out. But in fixing whatever it is, you can feel a certain amount of suffering, a certain amount of strife, a certain challenge that's needed to bring harmony and balance, right? And that's because Mars in there with her is like, Mars is all about, and I always say it's why Mars is the Tower energy. If this is not meant for you, I have to fix it. I know it might not feel comfortable, but this is not working for you. Right? So these are the shadow manifestations of Venus. Yes, everybody's talking about all the great stuff that Venus is bringing to the table, and she is. But you also have to be mindful of the shadow manifestation, because it's very Pollyanna to think that everybody is living in their high vibration. So just be on the lookout. You might be bringing good things to yourself, but you might be dealing with some messy energies. Because I feel like you're going to be very, very focused on your happiness right now, but you're needing to deal with a devil energy. And that's the bottom line. You might be dealing with somebody's addiction, somebody's imbalance, somebody's fear, somebody's ego just blown off the chart. I mean, this could definitely be anything from a controlling partner, somebody having an affair, codependent energies. You might be dealing with some sort of situation where, like, let's say you're separated from a spouse or from a significant other that you shared resources with. There's still being this financial dependence or some other ongoing money thing having to do with money or property that keeps you tied to them. And that's just very unnerving to you, right? For a lot of you. Others of you, if it has to do with work, you're just dealing with what you feel to be unfair, like some sort of unfair contract, toxic work environment, domineering boss. Something is just very, very unsatisfying to you, and you can't not see it, right? The devil could really just show up as you just being like plain old not happy. It's recognizing, I want to be happy and I'm not happy. And now it's time, right? And what are you not happy in? A lot of you are going to be realizing you're not happy in your marriage. You're not happy in that committed partnership. You're not happy in the way that, and I want to be very specific here, because there's this energy of you very much wanting to progress your life forward. You really do. You want to push your life forward, because this can indicate progression in decisions, in pushing that relationship and deepening the commitment in that relationship, in that job, whatever it is. It's progress. You're very focused on that. But how do you progress forward? Through commitment, through expectations being met, through emotional development. So we have this kind of like vibe here. It's like, well, I'm going to be happy, but I have to address this imbalance here, because in a normal marriage, in a healthy place of employment, you know, there are certain expectations that should be met, and certain things just shouldn't be going on. Like, people shouldn't be cheating. People shouldn't be spending all the money that's available. They shouldn't be drinking 4 bottles of wine a night, partying the way they do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. For others of you, it's just going to be straight up, I'm not happy, because it's just not meeting my expectations. Again, going back to that Venus energy that could show up in that shadow manifestation. And what I mean by shadow manifestation, it's like Venus so badly wants you to feel balanced that if there's no balance, she's going to highlight where the imbalance is. And she's not going to play around. She's going to put a fire under your ass to actually make the decisions and the choices that are going to push yourself forward, because you're all about being happy, Gem. You want it. You're all about being happy right now. You know, I mean, you guys are the north node of the moon. I've been saying it. I'm going to keep saying it until the end of the year. This is a gift to you. You're changing your identity, your approach to life, and you just want to be happy. This is some of you saying, I want a happy marriage. I want to get married. I want to have a deep commitment. I want to be in something with somebody that I know they're in the same space as me, that we have shared values. I don't want to feel like we're on different pages. I don't want to feel like I'm trying to fit a circle in a square. I don't want to feel that way. I want to resonate with the work that I do. I want to know that I'm on the right path. I just want to know that. So some of you, I absolutely see making decisions now that it's going to be bringing this to yourself. You're going to be bringing this to yourself. There's a lot of balancing out that's going on here. Oh my goodness. When you look at this, I mean, we have the Ten of Swords and Nine of Cups and the Empress energy. Growth, growth, growth. This is so good for those of you who are moving. Because the Empress can indicate you expanding your life in a beautiful, happy way as a result of moving. And the Emperor energy, Aries, is all about a fresh path, new perspective. And the Death and Rebirth energy can indicate a new home. So for those of you who are moving, rock on. This is great. Your living circumstances changing. And the thing is, it's going to go, this is a very good move for you. Those of you who are going to be moving, awesome. Something might be, you might be prepping to move or whatever. It's the idea of a move that's definitely happening here. So that could have to do with work. This could also have to do with, oh my gosh, just a relationship. I mean, the Empress energy is the mother of the tarot. So this is about straight up Venus. So this is about growth. This is money growth. This is expanding your life in any way that is on your heart. I mean, it's the best way for me to put it. So if you're single, excellent energy to start a new relationship. If you're in a relationship, great energy for growth and harmony, having to do with career or money. Inventing something, right? Because think about it, mother of the tarot, there's creation here. So whatever it is that you are either starting or working on creating, excellent energy, and it's going to happen quick. I mean, this is quick progress and change. Boom, boom, boom. And it's moving away from something that didn't feel right. If you felt like your shoes were on the wrong feet in a situation, this is you going into a space that resonates a lot more with you. And again, with the Emperor energy having to do with work, it's like you can't do something that you don't feel passionate about anymore, Gem. You just can't do it. And this is you wanting to be large and in charge and making choices for yourself. A lot of you are going to be getting into an energy space of leadership, right? Where maybe you're going to be running a department, launching something on your own, starting your own business, whatever within the area that you're in. This is that energy. Others of you, so I like with the Death and Rebirth, it's like ending a cycle to begin a new one, right? There's this necessary change. Even if it feels a little scary, having to do with money or whatever, don't worry about it. This is going to end up really, really good. It might be tough initially, right? But getting this energy indicates it's something new on the horizon for you that's going to be really, really good. You just have to be patient right now. Be patient through either the onboarding process, be patient with it happening and, the timeline that you're really sort of wanting it to happen. That has to do with that. But I'm also seeing for a lot of you, some of you may be just leaving a situation, taking control of your own life and allowing something to end because the way that it's been up to this point hasn't been serving you. It's a very strong energy right now, very strong. So that could have to do with relationship, marriage, even a business situation, anything like that. Let's pull some oracles. So we have love, just in general. Yes, I mean, again, you have to love what you're doing. You have to love the version of yourself that you are in that relationship. Or when you're with that person, with that family member, in that situation, do you feel viscerally uncomfortable? You have to look at that. You really want to love who you are inside of the experiences that you're having in your life right now. And if you're not, that's a flag that you need to look at. Change tracks. exchanging gifts, absolutely. Reciprocity. Reciprocity. This is about you being involved in something where you're getting back what you're giving in that relationship, in that business connection, even from just like the inanimate idea of a job, where you're going to put your heart and soul into a project and you're going to get out of it either the money, the satisfaction, whatever it is. There's this energy of reciprocity that's going to be going on here. Yes, look at that. Very nice. Yeah. Well, first of all, let's look at clarifying love. We have the Six of Swords, which is just moving on and manifesting what it is that you want, but detaching from something that you feel like is not really working for you. And for some of you, this could just literally be detaching mentally more than physically right now, just allowing yourself some space to do some internal work and figure stuff out. A lot of you might be just sitting back and saying, how connected do I feel in this situation? How do I feel, right? And then we have change tracks. Obviously, that means making this shift. Queen of Pentacles energy, this is really good because this has to do with, first of all, for some of you, this is a marriage energy or money coming to those of you who are coupled, right? This could definitely mean that, which is really good. This is very good for finances. This is very good for fertility. So if you're in that space, should I have a baby? Should I not have a baby? Should we go for it? Should we not? Whatever it is. But it's very much a taking care of you. Taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, your spirit, your finances, and making sure that you feel right in whatever it is that you're in. Because the energy is so, I'm not going to say thick. I'm going to say your energy, the veil is very thin between your energy and the right path. It's so hard for you, Gem, right now to not pay it, to not see, again, what's not feeling good. So with this idea of reciprocity, there might be some argument surrounding it. You don't give enough to the relationship. Money is not equitable. You're not romantic enough. We don't, whatever it is. This could also be like just, first of all, I'm getting two things at once. This could also have to do with a business connection as well, where you guys are not really having a meeting of the minds as far as how things are supposed to roll out. But this battle could also be within yourself. Because the thing is, with the exchanging gifts, if it has to do with where you're at in your life and you being very aware of what it is that you feel is lacking in what you're receiving from that job, that relationship, that family situation, whatever it is, that can end up inciting some sort of conflict within you where you're like, I can't not see this. Yeah, and then we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is, what I like about this is for some of you having to do as a general influence, increasing prosperity, right? You being very focused on growing your money through investments or some sort of business venture, taking on a new business partner, but whatever it is, it's increasing. It's moving, right? That's going to be for some of you. For others of you, this is you realizing that you're dealing with a person in a relationship. This could be somebody, if this is somebody in business, they're very stable, they're very loyal, they're very dependable, but there's something that they're not doing that is you can't not see it anymore, and you have to address it. For others of you, you might be in a relationship with somebody, and I feel like this keeps coming up for you, Gem, where you just can't not see what is missing. And where is it? What's going on? And you could be battling this within yourself, where you're like, oh my gosh, they have so much great stuff to offer on paper. They're a good person. They're responsible, they're dependable, they're loyal, all of that stuff. But damn it, why can't I feel peaceful in this? Why do I have to, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. It could be very kind of frustrating. I feel like I need to pull another energy for you. Seven of Swords. Page of Cups. Okay. So some of you may be in a relationship with somebody. This is going to resonate with some of you, not all of you. With somebody where you're feeling the sense of lack, but you're really not talking about it. You're really not. because you're arguing with yourself about how much you get from this person in relationship, and you're recognizing, you're sensing the lack, but you're not being very forthcoming about it. And then we have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups says it's a personification of water. I mean, this is like an offer, good news coming in, right? About something having to do with love, money, family, something like this. For some of you, others of you are realizing that you want to get a new partner. You know, maybe you want to get a new business partner, you want to get a new romantic partner, something like that. Others of you are very focused on the fact that you might very much be dealing with a selfish energy. And you can't, you know, because the Seven of Swords can be a very selfish energy, very dishonest, somebody who doesn't walk their talk, a lot of empty promises, you know, not a lot of follow through, all of that stuff. And you need your wits to figure out, you know, your instincts and your wits about you to figure out the real truth of the situation. You might even play somebody at their own game, right, to kind of highlight something. So the Page of Cups could be sitting down and having this conversation and trying to temper the situation, but others of you are going to be realizing, like, no, I want to go in a different direction. Either way, something's shifting though. Like, either you're moving into a new space within your relationship, or you're making the decision to leave. It depends on what it is you want, Gem, right? We got you. Lover's energy is you, but this is all about choice. Are you dealing with somebody who's able to show up and make the changes with you, where they're willing to hear you? Or are you dealing with an energy that's not willing to hear you and not willing to work? But it looks like somebody wants to put the work in here, which is nice. So this could have to do with anything. Somebody wants to work at something with you, Gemini. But you're in the space right now, right? This first week where it's like you're feeling like you're so in tune with what it is that you want, that passion. But it can be very confusing for you. But I feel like there's going to be some sort of good conversation that's going to be had. But there's got to be this like little paradigm shift that's going on here. And this, again, that could have to do with relationship, job, whatever it is. There's some sort of, everything's just sort of slowly shifting this way. And it's going to continue to shift all the way through the end of the year for you. But these micro shifts that I feel from one week to the next, Gemini, honestly, it's very powerful. All right, my friends, that's what I have for you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have an awesome week. See you next week. Bye-bye.